So Asclepias exaltata, the poke milkweed. This is in my yard. I grew a lot of this from some local seed, and it's doing quite well. It's a really cool milkweed that as you can see, look at this thing. It's got kind of loosely dangling umbels of flowers, which means that the flowers all come together at one central point, kind of like an umbrella. Think of an umbrella, an umbel, an umbrella. So yeah, let's get a close-up on this. So this plant is a little more shade tolerant than a lot of our milkweeds, our Asclepias. It's a little more shade tolerant. It grows in really nice woodlands. So if you look here, each flower, just like the milkweed flowers, the Asclepias, which are in the Asclepidaceae, the subfamily, it used to be Asclepidaceae, but then there was a paper that came out and kind of stuck it in the Apocynaceae, the dogbane family, so it's a subfamily, which is one of my favorite subfamilies ever. There's a lot of cool, we're not going to get into those right now. We'll do a whole special just on the morphology on Asclepias sometime, on the, actually on the Asclepidae, the subfamily. So what you see here in these green things, on each one of the flowers, these green things that are kind of like a dress, those are actually the petals. The sepals are kind of indistinct, kind of underneath them. And let's see if we can get a close-up of the sepals here so you can see what I'm talking about. So you see those darker greens, or the darker kind of purplish green sepals before it even opens up on this. The darkish one, those are the sepals. And then the petals are going to be that it's green. And then they have these white hoods, Yeah, these cool white hoods. From the hoods, they have the teeth. So the column, and you're not going to get too much into the morphology of the Asclepias flower. The column are white, and the column is right under the hoods, kind of connects the hoods and then the petals, the green petals that kind of drape. The green petals that kind of drape. This is, the hoods are oftentimes this bone white to cream white to white with a pink blush. The leaves taper, so the leaves, unlike some of our other Asclepias, the leaves taper. They're opposite. The leaves are oppositely arranged. Leaves are oppositely arranged, and they taper. See, kind of instead of rounded on the backside, like some things like Asclepias syriaca, your common milkweed, Asclepias sylvantes, and so forth. They're going to be rounded, more rounded, and these ones are tapering. They kind of have this darker green. The top of the leaf is always glabrous, so it's hairless. The bottom of the leaf is usually glabrous as well, but the bottom's going to have a lighter color to it. See the lighter color? It almost looks like a, when it comes up like this, it often looks like a pokeweed, kind of like a pokeweed, but it's not, and that's where poke milkweed, that's where the common name poke milkweed comes from. Asclepias is named from the Greek god of medicine and healing. Exaltata, the exalted, kind of the exalted, the height and so forth. It has a lighter green on the underside and a darker green on the top. Oftentimes, not often, sometimes it has this little bit of pink in the midrib too, right on the back. So again, the umbel is the inflorescence type where it comes together at a central point, kind of like an umbrella. Umbel is like an umbrella. And look at these, look how gorgeous they are. What a great plant. So in the United States, this grows more in the northeast and northern Midwest. So I think it goes down into, I don't know if it goes into Missouri, I think it does. But it doesn't go all the way, I don't know how far south. I know it's in, pretty solid in Michigan, Indiana, Wisconsin. It goes far west as Minnesota, and then all the way up into the northeast. The thing that I should mention is, again, this grows in nice, like, woodlands, and it isn't really a clonal species like your common milkweed, Asclepias syriaca. So you'll see like 2 or 3 or 4 stems coming up, but it's not like super clonal. So it's a great landscaping plant on top of anything. Plus it's in nice woodlands. You usually don't see it in trashy spots. So this is the follicle, the seed pod that's forming. It's going to dry here in the next month or 2 months or more actually, and then it's going to split open, and you're going to see these seeds like you see in the common milkweed, Asclepias syriaca. So if you look here, it's smooth in that there may be some pubescence, short hairs on it, but it's not going to be big warty like you're going to see in the common milkweed, or even Sylvantii has a little bit more, has a little bit of bumps or the warts on the follicles. So this is going to be narrow. This is about the widest it gets, and it gets to be 10-15 centimeters long. And so yeah, cool plant. So here on one of my Asclepias exaltata is the oleander aphids. The oleander aphids, these all females, sometimes winged, sometimes wingless. No males allowed in their evolution right now. They don't lay eggs, they just have babies, I guess, and take over my plants. And they're this orange color, and they're annoying and obnoxious, and I often just squish them.